just do it. It'll turn out okay. And I'm
Woo!
going out test out my new spotlight, my new webcam light. Yeah, it's even
Nice.
wrong. Yeah, no, darker. Not like. Anyways, welcome to Talking Time Caffeine. The only podcast where we talk about subjects of history, games, TV, and whatever else, and discuss them. Today, my two guests are both people I've met because of Kingdom Hearts. I met Nick. Tell them what you do.
Well, I used to do Let's
Oh,
Play.
sorry. Other Nick. You're
Oh,
both Nicks.
sorry.
We are both Nick. I do Kingdom Hearts guide videos mostly, and then lives on Tuesdays and Fridays of Kingdom Hearts games. So far, that's pretty much it.
Okay, first Nick.
I used to do Let's Play videos on the games, but I don't really do that anymore.
Yeah, it's a lot. It happened like 10 years ago, but I had a guest spot on a Kingdom Hearts video where I did a co-op voiceover with the thing, and he was like, I think a friend of Nick's or something, or Nick saw his videos before, and then we got in contact and we started doing co-ops, kind of.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, today we are going to rank. I don't know if every Keyblade. We are going to rank most of the Keyblades of Kingdom Hearts series of our favorites. Now, I tried to make a list myself, but finding pictures, getting the right size, and labeling them all, that was beyond my capabilities. So, gonna have to do the old-fashioned way of using somebody else's. So, have you guys ever done a tier list before?
Maybe a long time ago, but I don't remember.
I've done
Yeah.
a few.
This is my first official tier list.
Nice. Somebody got some dogs.
Whose dog? Oh, is that your dogs?
Yeah, and I'm shutting the door so they don't come back down.
What about the All Kingdom Hearts Keyblades one right there?
This one?
Or did it? It's right above. It's two above that picture of Sora with the white background.
Yeah, this one. You can't see my. I guess you can't see my thumbnail. My thing.
Oh no, I can't see your mouse.
All right.
Nice. Oh, they got him.
All right. Can you name these by? Do you know what these keyblades they are by sight alone? Because I can't remember some. I only remember some of them.
I can remember which games most of them are from, but their specific names, not all of them.
All right.
So let me look up. I can look up that very first one there, because I know which game it's from.
So, while we're ranking 6, did you ever when you're still playing the series? Do you have a favorite Keyblade?
Nah, not really.
That first one's called All for One.
All for one. What game is that from?
That's from Dream Drop Distance.
Oh, one of the Keyblades you get by diving.
I think it's from beating the story of the Three Musketeers world. Honestly, if we don't remember the name, I think it might be an F tier. That's my opinion. We don't even remember anything about it. Terrible. Get it out of here.
Like, I haven't played that game yet. You guys have a favorite memory of that world? If you guys played it yet?
Um, not I like so in that world because like the movie was like they were like reading a comic book of the Three Musketeers story starring Sora, Donald, and Goofy, and so like the super attack or the team attack you can do is like a comic book page. And I thought that was really cool.
Stick, you played the game yet?
Yeah,
Any things that you got out to you in that world?
not really, because it's been a while.
I haven't played it since like 2019, 2018 when it came out because I did the Affinity grind, and now I never want to play it again.
Did you play it on the original 3DS or did you play it on the PS4?
I've done both. When I played it on the 3DS in like 2013, it's because somebody lent me their 3DS. But then when it came out for PS4, I 100%ed it on that, which was don't do it. Don't do it. You at home, don't do it.
Even the big extra boss fight.
Yeah, including Julia's, yes.
Next Keyblade is this one.
That's Bond of Flame from
Oh,
Kingdom
the
Hearts
Axel,
2.
the Axel Keyblade.
Yeah. Solid B tier in my opinion.
Yeah, B tier or A tier even.
Ooh, I could see A tier.
What do you think, Snick?
And it has significance.
You get it by killing Axel.
Pretty much. He kills himself, but yeah.
Now, this one looks familiar.
I believe that one's called Wave Crest from Birth by Sleep. I think you get it from starting the final story. And I never use it because I always have Royal Radiance by then. So I don't know. I actually can't rate that Keyblade fairly. Just that it's worse than what I have, usually.
So you think D then?
Yeah, D for like, it's probably good.
So is this the Keyblade you get when you go to the after the Keyblade graveyard or before the Keyblade graveyard?
If I recall correctly, you start the final story. So you've already beaten the Keyblade Graveyard. You start the final story, and then you go to put Ventus to sleep, like to go rest, and then you get it as you're leaving.
Oh, so this was
Doing
the
that.
Master's former Keyblade then?
No, but she has that too. So I'm not sure. She like picks up both. It's weird.
All right. What this one?
That is Chaos Ripper. That's one of Terra's big Keyblades. It's pretty sick. I think it's an A tier.
All right.
I like it a lot.
Is that his? Is that the one you get at the start? Is that the one who gets the start of the game, or the one who gets the end of the game?
It's towards the end. I think I don't remember exactly. I think you beat all the worlds and then you go to Destiny Islands and then he gets it because anger, or maybe he gets it right after killing Ericus. I forget which.
Yeah, because I remember. I think it's all three of them. Their starting Keyblade and their ending Keyblade looks almost. They're kind of similar looking. I think, if I remember correctly. At least for Terra, it was. They looked similar.
Yeah, it's his ultimate dark Keyblade.
Now this, I think this is Milan's Keyblade.
It is the Pride Lands Keyblade from 2.
Yeah. Right game, wrong world.
Yeah. Schnick, you got an opinion on this one?
Not really.
Fair enough. I think it's a A tier because it's what I use for most of Kingdom Hearts 2 once I beat Pride Lands.
Is this the first time, the second time?
The first time.
So this is a Keyblade used a lot in the game in Kingdom Hearts 2 then?
Yeah, for me, at least, for the vast majority of the second half of the game, I'm using that until I get Decisive Pumpkin from Halloween Town.
Was this second on your second visit?
Yeah.
So would that make it more of an S tier then, or we keep it an A tier?
I think it's still an A tier. It could be the top of the A tier, but I think it's still an A tier.
Alright. Next, this little ziggy zaggy thing.
That's classic tone, and for me, it's an S tier. Here's
Ooh.
why. Here's why. I just did all of the. I just got the Pro Coach trophy for fighting data battles and stuff, and the only two Keyblades I used in Kingdom Hearts 3 were Ultima and Classic Tone, because Classic Tone has 3 MP hastes, which is too useful when you're doing Pro Codes, because your magic takes forever to return. So for me, that's an S tier Keyblade.
What game is it from again?
3.
Okay. Alright. Taking some of these things off. So thank you. Alright, next one is another one I can't recognize.
That one's also from Dream Drop. It's called Counterpoint. It's fine. It's just fine.
C tier.
Yeah, it's just fine.
This one I do know.
Yes, Crab Claw. What do you think, Vandalia? What do you think that is?
I want to say D. I don't know the stats of it all, but I just want to say D tier just because of the world it's from both. I don't know if it's in Kingdom Hearts 2, but it's in Kingdom Hearts 1, and even then that world was hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with D tier. I think, but for me, it's because I always skip Atlantica, so I'm never even using it. So I was like, who needs it?
Yeah, I didn't even know you can skip some of these worlds when I first played. I thought you had to play them all to get somewhere, but yeah. But also, I think this is our first Keyblade that's also in uh, Chain of Memories. But I forget what stats it has.
Yes, it is also in Chain of Memories.
I think it's a good. I think it might be a good stat. I'm not sure.
I don't know if anyone could confirm or deny. I'm not sure anyone uses the cards like strategically. I'm sure some people do. But if I recall correctly, it's got really good finisher, but not the best for the cost. So maybe the com version could be a C tier, but
Right. So that's the next Keyblade.
that one's from Kingdom Hearts 3. I just don't remember its name off the top of my head. It's the Frozen Keyblade.
F.
Immediate F.
So you have a reason for that?
I hate Frozen.
Both the movie and the world.
I mean, people would agree on the world with me because Frozen is considered one of the weakest locations in the entire series.
Especially with that rumor about how they wanted to be different. And I think Disney or something was like, nope.
Well, Disney definitely messed with it, but yeah, we don't have any confirmation what they wanted to do differently. I think it's with the form change, C tier, but I totally get the F. I totally get the F rating.
Next is Beauty.
That's Dark Gnaw. It's a worse version of Chaos Ripper. So I don't know, B maybe.
Right. This one,
That's Decisive Pumpkin. So that's the one that I switched to
Ah,
after Circle of Life. So I'd say just put it up at the front of A.
front of it. All right. And this is in both. This is in all. This is there's pumpkins in one chain and two, right?
Decisive is in 2, but there is a pumpkin Keyblade in 1 called Pumpkinhead.
Oh, it's told different one.
Yeah.
Is this the Keyblade that Kyrie gets in two?
Yes. That's the Kyrie Keyblade.
So
You do technically get to use it as Aqua in Birth by Sleep, but it's just fine. There's nothing really.
So what do you think, B or C?
I would give it C, the top of C for now, because it's at least got story significance compared to the other Keyblade in C.
Yeah, I wish it had. Wish we see. Was it in 3? Was it was the Keyblade she was usually in 3?
She might have been able to use it in 3. I think so.
I wish she had more use of it. More in-game use of it.
Well, that's the Kyrie problem in general. She just doesn't get to exist in the games.
All right. What's this one?
So that's oh shit, I forgot its name. It's from Kingdom Hearts 1. It's also in Chain of Memories. It's the one for beating Ice Titan.
Oh, the Diamond Dust?
Diamond Dust. That's what it is, Diamond Dust.
I have yet to beat him. You guys both beat him, haven't you? Guys both beat him, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So what do you think? Is the Keyblade worth getting, or is it a hard battle for nothing?
I think it's worth it. It's got the best magic stat in the whole game. Not a very strong Keyblade for attacks, but it's useful in very specific circumstances. So I think it's like a B.
Okay. All right, this one.
That's another 3DS Keyblade. Good thing I have my trusty phone on me to just look it up. That's... Let me scroll through. Is that Dive Wing? That's Dive Wing. So Dive Wing is actually, in my opinion, one of the better ones. You have to get all A ranks in all the dives.
Oh, so this is the one. This is the one you get for the final the final Keyblade you get for the kind of.
Yes, it's one of the later Keyblades for sure. So it's pretty good. It's actually the one I end up using for a long time.
For the final worlds.
Yeah.
Because you can't use it all the time, so you don't get to the end.
Right. So I'd say it's a B. I would say it's above both Bs.
This one?
Divine Rose from Kingdom Hearts 1. Yeah.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm. It's actually... So, fun fact, in the original Kingdom Hearts, it was just kind of a okay Keyblade, but in the final mix version, they buffed the strength so much that it's now the strongest Keyblade under Ultima Weapon, which I think is either I think that's an S tier for me. For me, that's an S tier.
Yeah, I think so. What do you think, Snick?
Kind of indifferent, but I do use it.
All right, S tier it is.
That's another 3D Keyblade. You get it from beating Tron's World. It's called a Dual Disc. I don't know. It's kind of just a boring nothing Keyblade, honestly.
D or C then, or?
Yeah, low D.
Uh, now this one looks familiar too. I can't place it.
Yeah, that's Terra's Keyblade, his base Keyblade.
One that gets at the start of the game.
Yep. It's pretty good. I like it. I like the design more so than the stats. I think it's a B.
Okay.
That one also looks like a 3DS Keyblade. I believe that's End of Pain. Yeah. Yeah?
Which one is it?
In alphabetical, so this is probably End of Pain. I don't actually know how to get this one. You complete all the special portals. So I don't know if it ever gets used. Because I feel like by that time, for at least for me, I already have Ultima Weapon. So I'm like never using this one. Like I didn't even remember it existed. So I don't know. C, I guess.
Right.
It looks cool though. That's the upgraded Terra Keyblade he gets at the end of the game before Keyblade Graveyard.
So C of this one, C or B then is
I would put it in B, just under. Or no, sorry. A, yeah, just under Chaos Ripper.
uh,
Yeah.
this
That
one.
that's Ever After, also from 3. It's the Rapunzel Keyblade.
Wait a minute. Everett. Oh, Everett. Oh, Tangled.
Yeah, sorry, Tangled. I think its form changes are really cool. I would put it at a solid B. Maybe like in the above Dark Gnaw for sure.
Right. So here.
Yeah. This next one's 3 Wishes. It's from Birth by Sleep. It's just kind of a you get along the way Keyblade. So I mean, I don't know. You get it from beating Enchanted Dominion or Sleeping Beauty's World. It's fine. It's another C tier. I can't even see what. Oh, that's a Fatal Crest. That's from 2. That I believe you get from the tournaments. I don't remember which one though. That one's net benefit is that you can do Berserk Charge, which is when you're out of magic, you can do endless combos. So I mean, it's still got its place. It's still pretty useful. So I mean, maybe the top of C, but I wouldn't say it's anything to write home about. That's the Toy Story Keyblade.
The deputy.
Yeah, favorite deputy.
Yes, I do remember some of these names.
Yeah, that one's got Lucky Strike. So I like it a lot. I use it a lot when I play Kingdom Hearts 3, but it's like also just kind of mid. So I don't know. Let's
C.
do yeah. I mean, I low B for sure.
All right. Now this is. I think this is the Cloud and Tifa Keyblade.
Yes, called Fenrir. It's actually really good.
Yeah. I'm thinking of giving it.
It's essential for doing the cheap way of defeating the Terra armor in Cage 2. You know what you know what that cheap method is, yes?
Yeah.
For those who don't know, explain it to our audience.
So basically, if you equip enough negative combos, which includes using that key, you do one-hit combos. So like he does like one single slash, like he's decking somebody in the head. Because of how wide the arena is, all you have to do is get the Terra armor, hit by like one of Donald's limits. I think it's the comet one, which knocks him all the way up in the air. And right as he lands, you need to start doing, like, preferably with the default jump, no high jump. You jump in the air and you start. It's like a cycle of jumping in the air and doing that single hit combo. And if you do the timing just right, he gets stun locked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you can, as long as you don't let him touch any walls, like if you just manipulate him around the air arena, because it's a big wide open arena. But if you, as long as he doesn't touch any walls, he will be and you get the timing right, he is completely stun locked, and basically you get a free win.
And that's the tier for that alone.
Game, so
yeah, I like that. That, like I said, I tier for that, and plus, it's a keyblade. It's a keyblade that's an official keyblade of my favorite FF7 couple.
Fair enough. It's also got, I think, the strongest stats in 2, at least strength wise. I would put it above Divine Rose. I think it's at least middle there. That's a 3D. Yeah, just throw it in F tier. What even is that? What even is that?
Not worth remembering.
This one's Follow the Wind. You get it from beating Pirates of the Caribbean World the first time. It's got Draw as an ability, so it's like kind of okay. It isn't like the worst Keyblade. Let's go high D, I guess. I don't know. Oh, that's weird. It's messing with my brain.
Right there. All right.
One sec. Boom. All right. That's Frolic Flame. It's also from Birth by Sleep. It's you get it after talking to Axel's somebody. It just, I don't know. Never use it.
So it's a strictly Ventus Keyblade then, right?
Yeah, it's strictly Ventus. It's basically the pre-Bond of Flame.
So C, D.
Yeah, let's just throw it in D. At the bottom of D. I never even look at that Keyblade again.
The settings for the collector item.
Yeah. All right, so this one, I don't remember exactly how you get it, but it is a chef Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, you get. Oh, that's what it is. You get it from getting a 5 stars restaurant.
Ah, okay. Yeah. It's actually, I think it's really good because it has Gorman's something, and it lets you get excellence when you make food easier. So
it's funny is it's a thing. To get it, you need to make your food excellent to begin with, and then once you got it, by the time you're already an expert. You're already an expert, anyways.
Yeah, I know, which is pretty ironic. So I mean, if you want to do high C, low B, I'm cool with that. It's a Ratatouille Keyblade.
All right. Hey, Snick, when you play the game, were you good at the cooking mini game?
Not in 3. I never got the full hang of it. Like the eggs, I hated the most.
Oh, eggs are awful.
Yeah.
My terrible thing was the salt shakers.
The salt shakers are ass too. The timing is so weird because you almost like, so you go to click it when they hit the circle, but that's too slow. You have to do it like just before, but then that looks wrong. I don't like the eggs. I don't like the salt shaker. You're right. You're both right.
I mean, doing it hard enough, but mastering it, like the plus, get that plus in there. That was extra fun.
Yeah. That one I think is also from Dream Drop, Shadow Realm by F tier. Nobody knows you. This is called Guardian Soul. It's the Orin Keyblade from 2. So if you like Final Fantasy X, that's the Keyblade from that. Any thoughts from anybody on it?
Yeah, I think I only used it once or twice because at the time I used the key. I used to watch the new Keyblades World, so I don't really have any favor. I don't hate it, but I don't have any love for it either.
Yeah, it's C then. This is Goal Wing. It gives you experience boost, solid A tier. It's how you grind levels in 2.
I going. Where do you get it from again? I can't remember.
You go back after the Thousand Heartless battle and you talk to Yuna, Pain, and Riku
Oh,
from Final Fantasy X-2, and they give it to you.
yeah. One of the better. I don't know. I think it's B tier then, or low A tier then, or high B tier then, because it's good Keyblade, but also it's a representative of how they made those three characters fairies.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. Instead of fucking people for some reason.
Yeah, just God. We can tell her, hey, by the way, fairy, your boyfriend is back on my home island. He's a little kid now.
Yeah, by the way, you're a fairy, and the person you love is a little kid. So, have fun.
Well, that's better than Leon's love on our home island from 8.
Yeah, does she even exist in this series? I don't think she does.
No,
She
I
hasn't.
thought she was. I thought she was on the island with Sora.
No, that's not her.
Oh, I thought,
She's from Final Fantasy VIII, but that's not the one. That's not his girlfriend.
okay. I must have misremembered then. I thought.
I think it would make more sense for you to know how his extreme heated rival is a town committee leader who's also a bully.
Yeah, I know. I know about him.
Yeah.
Town committee, bully leader, teenager, somehow.
Yeah, but I could have. But can't remember her name now.
You know, it's funny.
So
many of the Final Fantasy characters that appear in the games are de-aged compared to like their actual Final Fantasy counterparts. Squall is like the big exception where he's actually older than his Final Fantasy counterpart. Because he's only 17 in Final Fantasy VIII, but I think they say he's like 27 in the KH games. And I think the implication, and they like say in the backstory that when Radiant Garden fell, like he failed to protect it. So I guess the idea is that he was his Final Fantasy VIII canon age during that time, but of course they don't show him then.
So is Yuffie her same age then in 1 and 2?
She looks like she's about the same age as she was in 7.
I think the Final Fantasy VII characters, for the most part, are their actual ages. Like it's 8 where they're D8. It's 8 where they're different. 10 where they're different. 10 where they're different. Yeah, some of them.
It's weird.
Alright, what's our next on our agenda?
That's the Monstropolis, the Monsters Inc. Keyblade. It's all right.
Season.
Can I just say the Pixar stories in 3 were weird?
Yeah, I think
stories. So I'll give them that.
Like Toy Story was like this mind screw thing, and then Monsters Inc. They make it it's like they wanted to just adapt the movie, but then I guess last minute they were mandated to make it a sequel, and yet it makes absolutely no sense given like the timeline logic in the movie itself.
It happened after the movie, but no, I don't know how long after the movie because.
Well, the implication in the movie is that Mike didn't repair the door for Sully to see Boo until she was a little bit old, at least a little bit older. Whereas the game seems to imply that she was the exact same age, and he just goes and freely visits her whenever he wants, when he's not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
So
Timeline aside, I do like that world because I like Disney worlds that aren't copies of the movie. I like it when they're different.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my opinion is that when they don't copy the movie, it's like you got to be careful that you don't fuck it up. Because, my opinion, the way they wanted it seemed with Monsters Inc., they wanted to copy the movie, but then last minute they were told, no, you can't do that. And it seems like they did a very hasty rewrite to get around that. And it's like you can kind of tell. At least that's how I saw it.
That's fair. I think, like, it depends if they have the time to write a good story, a good original story or not. Because, like, in Kingdom Hearts 1, a lot of those stories are, like, vaguely original or inspired by the movies. And they're good, for the most part.
Like, I'll tell you this much. The story they do for Big Hero 6 and 3, I feel like they were better off just copying the movie. Like, I didn't like the original story they did for Big Hero 6 and that. Like, it had a good idea until the extremely stupid cop-out ending. That's besides the point.
With Riku being the bad guy or the...
No, it's that it was the whole Dark Baymax thing where basically they're building up to where how Hero sort of has to move on from the old Baymax. Like, he basically had, like, to defeat Dark Baymax, they have to destroy the original chip, which, like, his brother built. And it's, like, about, like, letting go of the past and moving forward. And then, absolute last minute, they reveal the original Baymax was rebuilt anyway.
They want to have their happy ending. A cake and eat it too situation.
So of that going said, we got to think for Toy Story. Not Toy Story, I mean Monsters Inc.
D. Get it out of here.
But not as bad as F.
Not as bad as F. That's Olympus in 3. It's pretty okay. I think it does a great job in form changes. When you're like riding around on the lightning horse. Middle of C, probably above Kyrie's Keyblade.
Right.
Yeah. This one's also Olympus Coliseum. It's from 2 though.
First or second visit?
First visit. I would say it's pretty equal to the Kingdom Hearts 3 counterpart, in my opinion.
So C tier then?
Yeah.
What?
That's the Mulan one that you get first visit. Kind of weak.
For being so this is the movie Keyblade, not the second visit Keyblade.
Yeah. So I'd say it's like D tier or something.
Yeah. What about? Do you think they did this movie repeat good or not?
I think the movie repeats in 2 are fine. I don't have any issues with them. I like in 2. I like when they come back to do something more original than the movie repeats. But like Schnick said, it's when it works. When it works, it works.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
I think in 2, I forget. One of the, I think the only one that the Aladdin one was the movies at the second visit. The first one was original. The second visit was the movie one, I think.
In 2?
Yeah, Aladdin's World, second visit.
Yeah.
That's pretty debatable. Like, it kind of repeats like the sequel, Return of Jafar, but it barely resembles what the Return of Jafar actually does.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of took the Return of Jafar and split it in half. And the first part, you're doing Return of Jafar, and then you're not suddenly because Pete's there. And then in the second visit, you're finishing up that plot line.
I actually liked that when it first came out. I actually liked that movie. One of my favorite Disney sequels.
Well, I would argue that King of Thieves, the third Aladdin, was the better of the two sequels, and I will forever remain butthurt that KH3 did not do King of Thieves as a story, because I feel like at some point they should bring Aladdin back to do a King of Thieves adaptation and
I
give
agree
them
with that.
culture on that front.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
This Keyblade is Hyperdrive from Birth by Sleep. You get it from beating Stitch's World. It's nothing to write home about. I'd say D tier.
Right.
This is Jungle King from Kingdom Hearts 1. It's the only like early Keyblade I would put anywhere above C tier because it's the first Keyblade you get in 1. And so you're finally like, oh, thank God I get an upgrade. Jesus.
Not to mention it's from the movie that's now banned from the series, Tarzan.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, but also good Keyblade, but it's also but it's on the downside. It's from a world I hate.
Ooh, good point. So my opinion is B. So like, where would you put it from there?
I guess high C then.
Okay.
Because I think I told you before, but when I first started playing Kingdom Hearts, I got stuck on Tarzan's world because I couldn't at the time. I couldn't do the swings, the swings, and finally I saved.
To skip them.
Yes, I found that out later, a year later. So I put the game away for a year. I'm like, screw it, I can't beat this game. Then I came back. I watched it later. I'm like, you can jump over the hippos. I did the hippo thing, and then boop, I beat the game in 2 days.
Nice.
Minus the 20 times I had to beat Riku.
Right.
For that. Little tip for you all that know that. In the PS2 days, the first game, you couldn't skip cutscenes. So I saw that cutscene at least 20 times in a row.
It's tough. It's not fun.
It's in my brain.
Can I add to that whole fight experience? Yeah. So with that fight, like I struggled with it like when I first played it, but nowadays when I play it, it's almost trivial to get through it.
Yeah.
But it's funny because there is a website that does like achievements for like older games that you emulate, and KH1 Final Mix on PS2 is one of those games. And the thing with this site is that they love making up all these creative challenges that can sometimes be stupid. And one of those challenges was to go into that Riku fight with literally nothing that you couldn't use on the Destiny Islands. So you were allowed up to 2 high potions, as many potions as you want, no equipment other than the original Kingdom Key and a single protect chain. Basically, if you couldn't find it on the island, you were not allowed to use it for this challenge. That also meant no equipping abilities, including dodge roll or glide. And yeah, so that actually helped make the fight a little challenging again, but I think I did it after 10 tries.
Cool. Like I said, the fight when it didn't so bad was if I could skip the cutscenes.
Yeah.
In my brain forever.
I can't remember if the original PS2 Final Mix let you skip cutscenes, but
I think the Final Mix version.
Well, I know the HD version does. I can't remember if the PS2 original did. Like, If it didn't, it wouldn't have
At least the
mattered.
one I-
Because
at
again,
least
this
the
was
one-
on emulator, so I was able to just speed through the cutscene.
At least the one I played, at least the one that the PS2 version that I had couldn't skip cutscenes, and in 2 and Rechange you could skip cutscenes, but original Kingdom Hearts 1, at least the version I had, I couldn't. So here comes thinking of original Keyblade. Is that the Kingdom? Is this the Kingdom Key or something different?
So yeah, that's Kingdom Key D. It's the
Mickey Keyblade.
Mickey's, yeah, the one Mickey uses. I think it's pretty cool. I'd give it an A tier.
Yeah, it's cool for its Keyblade. We don't see that often.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out. So these next 4 are all Kingdom Keys, but there's the one Sora uses, the one Roxas uses. What are the other 2? Xion, I guess, and then I don't know.
Do you know what's his which?
I assume the first one is Sora's Keyblade. I assume the next 2 are Roxas and Xion, but I don't remember anyone else using Kingdom Key unless they're counting the brief moment Riku had it. But that seems silly.
So are these all the same grade, or different depending on who's using them?
I mean, they kind of all work the same, so I feel like they should all be the same grade. Or we could just put one and kind of skip the rest, since they're all kind of equal. They're just the first Keyblade you get. Although technically, the 358 version, once you have the 0 gear, you get your Kingdom Key back, but it's like way stronger. So technically, that version is a little better than a starter Keyblade.
So maybe that's what the 4th one is then.
Maybe.
So is it?
Why is that one missing the head?
Because they didn't crop it correctly.
So you guys think of the original Keyblade?
Series icon, I guess.
Yeah, I would say it's a high B, low A. Iconic. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Why that cropped that so weird. Is that the one you were? It's a pole. Yeah. Why is it a pole? Narubi's right. Confusing.
It's a Keyblade. Oh, maybe that's the Keyblade from Recoded that got destroyed.
Maybe. Could be. I guess that's the only other one I could think of. That other one's F tier. The next one, F. Goodbye.
You know what it's from?
Yeah, it's 3D. Dream Drop.
I'm guessing Dream Drop Distance didn't have a very high impact in you.
No, no, it did not. Well, the issue with most of the Birth by Sleep Keyblades and Dream Drop Distance Keyblades is that you go through the game so fast because it's like a handheld that you're just skipping. You get your new upgraded Keyblade. You go to the next world, you get a new Keyblade. You go to the next world, you get a new Keyblade. You go to the next world, you get. So you're just kind of like shuffling through these Keyblades that never really make a substantial impact or do anything useful.
That's accurate.
Now I believe this is from Wonderland, right?
Yeah, this one, second highest MP in the game. Really useful in specific circumstances. I would say it goes middle of B tier. Yeah, right there.
Right? Or am I wrong? This is Wonderland, right?
Yeah.
This is weird since you don't actually get Keyblade from Wonderland, or do you?
You do, but it's technically a secret later on. You have to get the White Trinity.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not from the story.
This one.
Oh, God damn it. Sometimes, not some ones. Why? Okay, that one, that's the Leon Keyblade.
Lionheart?
Yep.
That was the key I brought into the last fight the first time I ever got to it.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good. It's got a pretty good crit stat, if I recall correctly. I would say it's a high A Keyblade.
Uh, yeah, high. I'm thinking low A
Low
then,
A?
because I forget where I get from the second or third for second game where it comes from, but I had an issue with this Keyblade and chains.
Mm. Yeah, it does fire damage, so it'll heal certain magic users.
Yeah, that I didn't most of the time. Like, okay, hit. Why aren't they dying? Why aren't they dying?
Why are they healing? What the fuck?
And since at the time it was my best Keyblade, I'm like, oh, stack them all. This is like I think this was an A tier Keyblade or something like that, or high B or A. I'm like, oh, this is a very powerful Keyblade. Give them all my Keyblades. This thing. I'm like, ah. So yeah, that'll make it in my brain makes it negative experience.
Yeah, no kidding. The next one is Lost Memories. It's Ventus's upgraded Keyblade. I think it's called Lost Memories. It's pretty decent. I would say it goes in B tier.
But I haven't got this Keyblade yet because I can't beat Vince's story
Fair enough.
because of ice cream.
Because of the ice cream. Yeah, you can skip that world, right?
You can't
Mm-hmm.
until you can't get no because I beat Hercules and I beat uh, Stitch, but the next world doesn't unlock until I beat all three of them, and
Oh, all right, my
and that
mistake.
that's
I thought you
at
could do it.
least if you can. I haven't found a way to do it yet.
Fair enough.
Like
My
I
mistake.
could, yeah, I can beat Terrace Racing. I can beat Fruit Ball with Aqua, but I cannot balance the ice cream by rhythm.
Mm.
And one thing I hate about anything is required mini games. I mean, it's great if you can do them and they're good for extra little bonus thing, like Gina. Uh, you don't really need the Orquadian Plus and two if you beat Pooh's Roll, but you get, or thing, but it's a nice bonus you get,
Mm.
and you actually don't need to beat Pooh's Roll again, and one you get, but it gives you Bambi, but in but in BBS, you have to beat the mini games to progress the story.
Yeah, kind of dumb.
I switched from the KH games to Final Fantasy so I can ramble about required mini games. So everybody seems to have an obsession with calling Final Fantasy IX the indisputed best of the PS1 games. Like for a while, people were saying it was 7, but now there's like this massive influx of people saying, "Oh no, it's actually 9 that's the best. Nine's so great. It's so great. Seven's overrated." I don't really have a favorite in the PS1 games, and the reason I hesitate to call 9 the best, it is obsessed with required mini games. And quite several of them are ungodly frustrating. Like, I don't know if either of you know, there is a mini game involving Sid having that game's version of Sid having to steal a key from like an enemy, and that mini game can go to hell. Like that is the best way I can say it. Like it is the reason I have never finished 9. Like I've gotten past it once, but the reason and sadly I was not level grinded enough. So when I eventually have to try and finish 9 again, I have to play that mini game again, and I do not want to.
Have either of you played the 7 remake or rebirth?
Yeah.
No, I
There's
have
no,
not.
spoilers. There's many games in that too, but I don't think they're required.
Yeah, they have a card game in Rebirth that I think is just optional as far as I know.
What is this series obsessions with cards? Not just Final Fantasy, but like Square Enix as a company. weird. So this one is the Olympus Coliseum Keyblade from Birth by Sleep. Also pretty just fine. I would say it's like high B tier.
Is it the one? Do all three of them get the same? All three of them get this, or just?
Yeah, all three of them get that one. It's a pretty strong Keyblade, so that's why I think it's like pretty decent.
Is this for the second visit?
There's only one visit.
Oh, you said one.
Birth by Sleep.
Upper five sleep. Technically, there's 3 visits, but
Yeah, well, true. This is Ericus's Keyblade.
the one that turned the keyblade that turned departure to oblivion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd say it's a cool looking Keyblade. Seems pretty
But you don't
cool.
you don't really use it.
Use it in the secret episode and in Birth by Sleep 2, but
0.8 or 2. Was it 0.8?
I don't know.
0.9?
I call it Birth by Sleep 2.
It's 0.2 for the actual name, but
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? I haven't really got this keyblade yet because
I think it's a middle A Keyblade. Yeah.
we have our first two. We have our first 2 rows for A tier.
Heck yeah. The first break in the tiers. This next one's Metal Chocobo. You get it from beating Cloud in the Olympus Coliseum, the Hercules tournament in the first game.
I remember, at least in the first version of 2, 1. I don't remember how it is in the second, the remakes in 3 and 4. But this was a pretty strong keyblade. I think at least in the original one, it had good stats, like good physical stats. At least I remember.
It's pretty strong. And unfortunately, kind of like it has a good crit, but like bad magic.
Yeah, that's the thing is, in this keyblade, if you beat Cloud but not Hercules, this is a good keyblade. But then once you beat Hercules, the hero blade's I think better.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that it's replaced almost immediately. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say it's a D tier one because it's cool, it's strong, but it's immediately replaced.
Yeah, I think high D then.
Yeah. This is next one is Monochrome. You get from beating Timeless River in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah,
Another just fine one.
C D B. You think
I think D.
D?
It's not terrible, and it's not a terrible process, so it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's. I said. Yeah, I think it's. I don't think it's used for anything. Not good stats. I don't remember any stats. I don't think you can use it for. I don't think it's good for drive forms either.
No, it's just meh.
There.
F tier. Move it. Get it out there. F tier.
Another DDS keyblade or BDS?
No, that one's from 2, and you get it for beating the song mini games in Atlantica.
So
and it's useless.
So DDS. So PDS.
Yeah. This next one's Nano Gear. You get it from completing Big Hero 6, and the only good thing about it is it has stun protection. But otherwise, it's sort of just a middle tier Keyblade. So I guess high C would be my pick for it.
Okay.
Ooh, this one is No Name. You get it from beating the mysterious figure in Birth by Sleep. The hardest, cheapest boss in that game.
Is this the Young Xehanort or the Ventus?
Young Xehanort. So, I guess it depends on your relationship with young Xehanort. For me, I hate that fight, and I don't even end up using the Keyblade because I have the one just below it, which is just better stat wise.
I forget, is Young Xehanort the final boss, or is Ventus the final boss? Vinitas the final boss?
Um,
And the optional.
so you have to beat Vanitas to unlock young Xehanort.
So he's the final boss, but the Keyblade isn't worth getting the.
Yeah, he's a secret boss, but yeah, it's like by the time I'm even getting to get this Keyblade and I beat him, one, it was an awful experience trying to fight him, and two, I have a better Keyblade. So I guess high F.
What, Snick? You have a back experience with young Xehanort?
I haven't even tried to fight him there. I don't even know if I unlocked him.
I think you have to unlock all the to even get him. I think you have to unlock all of the not Coliseum, the Mirage Arena stuff. I think.
No, you got to beat the final story, and then you go back to the main character, whichever character, doesn't matter. All three of them even. You go back into their stories after you've beaten them, and then you go defeat Vanitas, and then you can go face No Name.
Oh, I thought you had to get the top scorers on the Mirage Arena before you can get to Vanitas.
Nope, you don't have to do anything with the Mirage Arena.
Wow.
Okay. Just beat the final story.
I mean, Mirage Arena, I think in the final mix version has its own like super boss, sort of.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that is correct. All right, 3 Oath Keepers.
So this is from 1, 2, and 3.
That would be my assumption.
Well, I like Oath Keeper because it's a Kairi Sora bond. I like Kairi and Sori,
Mm-hmm.
but and I remember at least in the original one, this had good stats, but then the Divine Rose either knocked it down a peg.
So it's actually a really good Keyblade, regardless of Divine Rose, because it's got really good crit, it's got really good stats, it's got really good magic. So it's actually just kind of a really decent, like, end game Keyblade before you get all those extra ones.
All right. Now, what about 2? But I think the stats are 2 and 3 are different. I think.
Yeah.
2.
And 2, it's like only kind of like mid tier in stats, but it gives you form boost, so you can level up your drive forms way faster, or they last longer, I should say.
Yeah.
So you can be in like Valor form for a longer period of time. So it's it's helpful.
B or A then?
Yeah, I would say high B.
Because it's helpful. Yeah, you're right. The form change, the form extender is good, but unlike the first one where you get from rescuing Kairi, you get this one by losing Kairi.
Yeah,
the Axel.
True.
You get there and say, and the people they're like, oh, by the way, we let Kairi be kidnapped. Sorry.
Sorry.
Now 3 is that you get 3 one. Is the one you get from downloading the Remind DLC.
Yeah. I think Oblivion is downloading the Remind DLC. I think Oathkeeper is from beating Critical Mode.
Okay.
One of them is one of those two. I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah,
frankly,
right.
That wasn't the DLC. That was like a free update, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. So Critical Mode's a free update.
Yeah, you're right. The Critical Mode came in during the middle of the season before Remind came out.
Mm-hmm.
I forget which was which.
Personally, I never actually end up using this Keyblade, but I know a lot of like no damage players, they really like using this in Oblivion in tandem. So it's got to be decent, maybe high A.
Right.
I just sort of realized that there should be keys that were DLC that were paid DLC, like $2 or $3 each. One of them was PlayStation exclusive. The other one was Xbox exclusive. Mm-hmm. I don't remember their names.
One of them 7-Eleven exclusive. Like, what the fuck is even that?
Yeah, I don't know if the PlayStation or Xbox exclusive ones are on that list right there.
Scroll down real quick, Vandalia. Let me see. No, it doesn't look like it.
Wow, so they're so forgettable that people didn't even want to put it here.
I guess so.
Oh, and Gretsch Rain Fair. I have yet to do that. I cannot get past Marluxia's third form.
Marluxia's an asshole.
I can use first second. Well, maybe his first form, be second form. Second form is easy. Third form, just that 666 just kills me.
That wind, terrible. Ass. Complete ass.
Oh, the wind. The wind. I can. The wind. The wind. I'm okay. I get to keep like back in time. It's just the instant death.
Oh, the Doom. Yeah, Doom is tough. Next up here looks like Oblivion's.
1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That'd be my guess.
So, Kingdom Hearts 1 Oblivion. I think was it. I think it had good. I think it had good physical stats. I think, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I recall correctly, in the original, it was the best Keyblade under Ultima Weapon. Now it's beat out by
In
Rose,
terms
and
of strength.
yeah, in terms of strength. And then it had, if I recall correctly, a very low critical strike chance, but that's it made up for that in the strength. So I mean, I would put it in A tier. Yeah.
Okay. 2. You get from finding Riku. You get from Riku getting his body back, or his form back at least.
I think this is top of A tier. I think this one's really, really good Keyblade for 2, and it's super useful, and I use it a lot. So
Right. Now, 3. I guess like the other one we said. This is either from beating critical mode or getting the DLC, the Remind DLC.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I also don't use this one. I never use it, but I would put it next to both Keeper and A tier because they're both used by no damage runners, so they have to be decent.
Yeah, I think I'm just guessing here, but I think Oblivion's. I think Oblivion would be the critical mode thing because it's a high Keyblade and thing. I think Remind would be the Oath Keeper because Remind is about rescuing Kyrie.
That would make sense to me.
At least my brain. That's what my brain thinking of it.
That makes sense to me. F tier. I don't know what it is. That is a 3DS Keyblade.
I'm guessing you either you did not have good experiences or you didn't have memorable experiences with 3DS.
3DS. I like 3DS. It's been 7 years, so that's on me. These Keyblades might be fine, but a lot of them, and we'll know when I get to one that I recognize because it doesn't go in F tier. But like I said, they're not memorable because you just replace them every world with something better.
So whenever you beat Days or Recoded in your streams, are you gonna try to stream 3DS then and try to remember all the fun times?
I might do that. I don't know though. I don't know. It's next on my item hunt video guide, and I'm not looking forward to it. This is Olympia. It's the one that replaces Metal Chocobo, so I would say it goes above Metal Chocobo, but it's probably another really good endgame Keyblade before you get one of the better ones. So I would say it goes below Diamond Dust in B tier.
That'll be here.
Yeah, right there, yeah. This is One Winged Angel. You get it from beating Sephiroth in the first game. I never use it. Never had a reason to. He's the last thing I ever do. So, F, I guess.
Yeah, I think, I think in the original fight, Sephiroth was anything but HD. They made the puzzle insane. I think.
Let me say that again.
In the original Kingdom Hearts 1, once you beat Sephiroth, nothing happened. But
Right.
in the HD remix, you get that special cloud
Well,
scene.
it's in the PS2 cutscene too.
Really? I didn't know that.
Only in the final mix PS2 version, but
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, in the original, nothing happens. You leave, you're done. This is Photon Debugger. It's from beating Space Paranoids, I think the second time. It might be the first. And you get lightning boost from it. I never use it. I always have something better by the time I get that.
So
Because it's
C or D,
basically the end of the game.
C or D.
Yeah, I would say D. I would say bottom of D, honestly.
Got it.
Birth by Sleep Keyblade. It's called Pixie Petal. You get it from beating Neverland.
Yeah, I heard this is a good Aqua Keyblade. She's good in Magic.
Yeah.
A lot of people use this Keyblade for her.
But the problem is, immediately once you get it, it is replaced by her upgraded Keyblade that's in what's the next? It's in two Keyblades. So
So it's
yeah,
better
for
stab.
everybody, it gets immediately replaced. So I would say F. I'm sure it's fine when it's if it wasn't immediately replaced, but it always is.
Right.
What is that one? I can't see what that is. Can you move it above the F so I can kind of... Oh, that's Pumpkinhead. Okay.
From the first game?
Yeah, it's the first game's Halloween Town Keyblade. This is another just fine one. Doesn't really do anything special, so C tier for me. I'd put it at the front. It at least goes above Jungle King.
Right.
Yeah. So this is Aqua's actually original Keyblade. I see Stormfalls a little later. Her original Keyblade I would put with Terra's. It's pretty cool. I ain't got nothing against it.
Where was that at?
That's B tier. Low B. This is Royal Radiance. It's for beating Xehanort's armor in Mirage Arena and Birth by Sleep. It's an S tier for me. Best Keyblade in that game. Better than its ultimate weapon, honestly.
Scroll a little bit. Right.
Yeah. Divine Rose is this one. It's the Beauty and the Beast Keyblade from the second game. I think it's also an S tier.
Now and then. All right.
Mm-hmm. That's the second Keyblade you get in 3. It's got like the arrows and stuff.
Is this like a remastered version of the Mickey's Keyblade?
I think so. I think that's the idea, yeah. I give it like a C.
All right.
Can you move that one up? I can't see what it is. Oh, okay. F tier. That's a Dream Drop Distance Keyblade.
Right.
That's Leon's Kingdom Hearts 2 Keyblade. So, I mean...
You get it from Traverse Town then?
No, Kingdom Hearts 2. You get it from...
I mean, Radiant Garden Visit.
Yeah. I think you get it after doing the 1,000 Heartless, but I don't actually remember. Maybe you get it after beating him in Olympus Coliseum in the Underworld. I think that's where it's from.
So C then?
Yeah,
average?
C, average.
Right.
This is Spellbinder. It's a worse version of a different Keyblade in 1. I'd put it in a high D.
Spellbinder. Is this the one you get from is this the one from visiting Pinocchio's house?
No, it's from Merlin, I think.
Yeah, it's from Merlin. It's from getting all the spells.
So what?
Not like all 7, but not their upgrades. Just like us, once you have all of them, you can get that Keyblade.
So you said C or D? You said?
I'd put it at high D. I don't think it's.
Right.
Yeah. That's the Union Cross Keyblade. I don't remember what it's called. But It's kind of cool. I don't think there's anything wrong with it necessarily. It's a C. It's a
Okay.
C for sure. There's Mickey's Keyblade.
The
From
what's it called?
2.
Yeah, Star Seeker. I think
Yes, that's it.
I'd put it right under its Kingdom Hearts 3 counterpart.
Where was that at?
C.
Right.
Because it's also like outside of like one up, one more up. Yeah, right there. Because outside of like using it for a very specific strat or for like leveling up Valor Form, it's kind of just there. So this one is Stormfall. This is Aqua's upgraded Keyblade that just immediately replaces Pixie Petal. And I'd put it with at least above her base Keyblade because it's like the upgraded version of it, which is in
Was
B.
that all right? I'll put that for now. We'll fix it later.
Okay. This is the Birth by Sleep Castle of Dreams Keyblade. I don't care what it's called.
But
It's-
from Cinderella.
yeah, Cinderella. It's pretty decent. It's especially useful for Aqua, um, and I would say it's a low C.
Let's see. All right.
This one's from Dream Drop. It's F. Goodbye. Get out of here. I don't even know which one that is. Like some of these other ones I recognize. I don't even know what that one is.
I like how one of these come from Days.
Yeah, they didn't include any of the Days Keyblade.
I mean, I know that their names went by like their gears that you had to equip, but it's like at least include them.
Mm-hmm. There's no Days or recoded Keyblades.
I didn't even know Recoded had original keys.
Well, it has one. It's called 01. So you'd think, and plus they did duplicates for some of the ones that have been in multiple games.
Oh, speaking of recoded, Nick here is doing what we call. Did you find out that challenge was real or not? You did for no reason.
It is. It is real. The level 15 run is real. I didn't get gaslighted by the by my memory. It is a real challenge, and now I no longer have to do it because I did it. This one's called Sweet Memories. It's the 100 Acre Wood Keyblade from 2. It's in the first game. It was in the first version of the game. In the non-final mix version, it was better because it had Lucky Lucky on it. In the second version, the final mix version, it's fine. It has Drive Converter, which is good for leveling up Master Form. But once you have level up Master Form, it's kind of useless again. So I mean,
This is the one that turns. This one turns money into balls.
What?
This one turns the money into
Drive forms.
Yeah, I'd put it in high D, low C, because it's got use. It's useful, but it's not like great. This is Sweet Stack. So, all right, you're gonna hate this. If you beat the music mini game in Birth by Sleep, if you beat, I think it's all of them with an excellent rating or a fantastic rating, you get this Keyblade. No, I'm sorry, I lied. That's a big fat lie. Once you collect all of the ice cream and return them to Huey, Dewey, and Louie, then you get this Keyblade. Nothing to do with the mini game. That was a lie. But it's actually got super good stats. So I would say it's a B. The lowest B. Actually, not the lowest B. I would say it's above the other 3 in B.
Hold on, we'll get to them later. We'll rank those.
Okay. It's long. Wishing 3 wishes. 3 wishes. This is from 1. It's for beating Agrabah. This one's good up until you get Pumpkinhead, so I would just put it below Pumpkinhead, wherever the hell that is. Pumpkinhead's in C. That's the wrong one.
I thought was C.
No, to the left. The Keyblade to your left. Keyblade to your right now. Yeah, you grabbed the wrong one. Move that one back down. We haven't covered that yet.
Oh. So this one.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
So that one's Wheel of Fate. It's a Kingdom Hearts 3 Keyblade for beating the Caribbean.
I
A
use
lot of people think it's great.
I know it's great now, but I used this one a lot, and my first played the game back in 2019 or 18.
I mean, its form change is actually pretty good, I think.
A lot of people like this one. I don't ever use it, so I would say, based on how much people like it, it's a low A, high B.
I remember using it to beat the base game of Three's excuse for a super boss.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that?
It was like that weird devil heartless thing that was sort of like an invisible, except of like dual wielded swords or something.
Yeah, it's a pathetic secret boss.
Yeah, like that was the only secret boss in the base game, but then the DLC added all the data stuff and it had Yozora.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
And like the DLC basically redeemed it because Yozora's gone down in history as probably one of the most memorable secret bosses and almost definitely the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I like that. Keep like I used to form change was good a lot, but also it is one of the harder roles I had to beat in that game. That because I couldn't be, at the time I couldn't beat proud of it. I could not beat the final boss, the ship boss, and pirates until I upgraded. So I got the very high upgraded ship, all the Form 9.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my reward there, and I used that key a lot. The other boss I had trouble with was the video game boss in Toy Story. It took me forever to beat that one too.
Gotcha. This one's called Treasure Trove. It's also from Birth by Sleep for beating Snow White's World. It's a D tier. This one is To Become One. You get it from beating Roxas in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. It's basically useful to get Final Form and then never again. So, top of D, I guess. It's got good
Yeah,
stats, though.
yeah. It's if you use form. I think its only stat is if you use form trains, you can either be either anti Sora or final form.
Exactly.
And then you do know the cheat how to do that, right?
There's a cheat to it.
What?
What's the cheat?
Just go to the second Coliseum battle where drive forms are a thing, and if you don't get final form, just reset.
Oh, all right. That's pretty cool. I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
usually do it. I usually do it right outside, right after I beat Roxas. The next room, you leave, like your party leaves, so you can't. If you like exit the room and come back in when it form, you'll go back to max form. So I usually use that
Oh, okay.
instead.
Yeah, because of the exploit that they never fixed, where if you go drive form, but then you quickly make your way to a room where there's a bunch of NPCs walking around, including your party members. Like because you're not allowed to be a drive form there, they revert you back to regular, but then they refill your drive because of that.
Oh, yeah, I don't know that much, but I only knew about the go to the Coliseum and reset the Coliseum if you don't get the right form.
That way makes sense too. I didn't even know about it. All right, we're on to the Ultimas. I believe this is the Birth by Sleep Ultima. It's pretty good. I would say, honestly, for most Ultimas, I would say A tier. This one is definitely an A tier.
Okay.
Not all of them, but most of them. That's an A tier for sure.
Okay.
Oh, grab the wrong one. You grab Wishing Star. Or Three Wishes.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I wish the screen was bigger.
Yeah. This next one is from Dream Drop, I assume. So beating Julius is a nightmare. So I would at least put that. I would say that's a B, because I don't know, man. It's good Keyblade, but you have to do some whack shit to do it. This is Kingdom Hearts 3's. I put that in S tier. It's the only Keyblade I use. Its form change is absolutely busted, and so is its shot lock.
You get that by all the
Synthesis.
keyboards. Oh, synthesis.
Yeah, just regular synthesis.
Okay.
And then these last two are both A tiers for me.
some beef right now, and then a day. Right.
Nice.
Hey.
Was this one?
This one is I just saw that one. Unbound. It's in Dream Drop Distance. And what the hell? Hold on. Okay. Obtained after completing all secret portals. Wait. Oh, all secret portals. Okay, so the one from before was all special portals. This one's all secret portals. It actually is got stronger stats than Ultima. So I mean, I guess that goes in A too. I don't super remember ever using it, but it's better than Ultima. So that's called Victory Line. It's for beating all of the races in Disney Town in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. I think for most people, they never did it, but it's actually pretty strong if you do it right when you get there. And it's useful for most of the rest of the story after that. I would say it's B. That's the one for beating Vanitas, Void Walker, Void Gear, something like that. I never use it.
Is it worth the hassle?
No, I mean, no. It's kind of the same issue with No Name. It's that even if you like, for me, I always have Royal Radiance by that point, so I never use it. It's never useful, and it's a hassle because the boss sucks ass. So I would put it in F. I don't know why they have Weighted Dawn twice. I assume
one of them. I guess one of them's in 2 and one's in 3, or maybe one's in 3D. I don't know.
There is one in 3D, yeah, because we know it's not Dream Drop or I'm sorry, not Dream Drop. We know it's not 358 or coded because they didn't include those. So yeah, I think it's Dream Drop.
Weighted Dawn, is that's Riku's Keyblade?
Yeah, that's his.
I would say it's better in 2 than it is in Dream Drop because at least in 2 it's like an end game kind of Keyblade, but I mean, not that you get to use it. I think they're both high C, low B.
Get to use it during the last fight.
That's true.
Oh, by the way, because I got thinking of the last fight, I know that the Xbox version of the collection has a pretty funny glitch in it, where when you take control of Riku during the last fight, I guess because they forgot, there's a brief Riku's commands have the PlayStation buttons on Xbox.
Whoops.
Yep.
What's next?
This one's Wayward Wind. It's the Birth by Sleep Ventus starter Keyblade. I would say just goes equivalent with the other ones in B. This is Winner's Proof. You get it from beating all 13 mushrooms in 2. I do think it's worth the time, though, because it has pretty decent stats, but, like, I don't know. Like, I only use it tangentially. Like, it's never, like, an active choice because that's usually one of the last things I'm doing. So, I mean, I guess B, maybe high C.
Yeah, okay. What was the stats on that? I think is it no experience or something? Or what?
Yeah, I think it is, which is also bizarre. Like, why would you want that ability at the end of the game? Like at the beginning, I get, but why the end?
Yeah. So I mentioned that achievement website before. KH2 on PS2 has a bunch of them. The thing is, they put a level cap for a lot of the custom boss challenges just so you can't cheese them.
Mhm.
And they make it to where you can do the challenges on proud or critical. I decided to do proud just to make them a little bit easier until I found out that proud, you do not get no experience until you get that key.
Tough. So you couldn't grind
So,
levels for it, huh?
and because you're forced into a lot of scripted fights, it's like I have to ration when I do like regular battles because I was able to keep up with it, but it's like I had to skip as many fights as I could just so that because I would always want to make it to like the highest level that was allowed for the challenges, but then if I got too much experience, then I could potentially lock myself out of it
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
there's no way to get no experience unless you're on critical.
Yeah, that's tough.
All right, two left to go.
This is the Agrabah from 2 Keyblade. I don't remember what it's called. Let's say it's got jackpot on it, so that's kind of useful. Let's put it in C. Let's put it with its buddy in C.
All right.
And then the last Keyblade is Wishing Star. This is the one you get from Pinocchio's house. And 1, I don't know if it ever gets used though. I think by the time you get this, I think actually it's already a bad Keyblade by the time you get it. So I'm gonna say F. It's got good crit though,
So
so
D then?
you could argue D.
Okay. All right.
So
We the main rankings. So let's rank the rankings now. F tier. Anything? If this is the highest and lowest F, anything in particular you want to in front of F tier? Or
I would move No Name and Void Gear to the front because they're at least decent Keyblades, even if they never get used.
do you see my mouse?
Yeah, I see your mouse. No Name is the one to the right of that one you're
This
at.
one.
Mm-hmm. And then Void Gear is the one at the bottom of F tier.
This one.
Nope, next to it. Yeah, that one. But for the rest of these, I think they work fine
Okay.
because either they're not memorable or you have to do something stupid to get them. Not worth your time.
So these are the best of the worst Keyblades.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, D tier.
I think D tier looks fine. No qualms with D tier. You could argue that 2 Become 1 should be in C, but that's kind of it.
What's one? Let's do one.
The top of D.
So
You could argue that belongs in C, but
all right. So other than that, D tier. That's the best D tier, you think? Or
yeah. Yeah, D tier is just those Keyblades that are like not super useful, but they're not like, for me, they're not super useful, but you never like have to like go out of your way to struggle to get them. You know, they're just like they're there.
Or like a lot of the Dream Drop Distance Keyblades, or I mean CD Keyblades, they're not. You know them. They're like I have no idea what this Keyblade is. Like in the F tier.
Right, exactly.
Here's a lot of C tier Keyblades.
There's a lot of C tier. I think C tier is mostly good as well because C tier is a lot of those. It's got a use, but it's not that but only for super specific circumstances, or it's just okay. You know, like there's not like a.
Some of these C Blade tier up at the best average Keyblade to you.
Yeah, I would say maybe the Leon Keyblade goes at the top.
Which one is that? What's that at?
So move your mouse up 1 and then go to the right 3 times. Yeah, that one. Because that one's like pretty decent, but otherwise all of these are just like circumstantially useful or just kind of okay when they show up. The best of them, the most mid.
So now we're getting the better Keyblades. B for better.
B for better. Yeah, I would move Sweet Stack to the top, just under Wheel of Fate.
This one?
Yeah. And then the Ultima also towards the top.
This one.
Mm-hmm. I would put those above the Olympus Coliseum Keyblade, though.
So here.
Sure. But otherwise, yeah.
Right.
This one also, I like. For me, it kind of just had like some nice aesthetic to it, like the original Birth by Sleep Keyblades. They're just aesthetically nice, even if they're kind of like terrible to use.
So A for average or awesome.
Yeah. I would put the Ultimas at the front, but otherwise,
So these two, right?
there's one next to it also, the yellow one.
These three.
Yeah. And then that weird green one also at the top.
Which one?
The green one. Green and purple, yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
All right. And finally, who's the best? Who's the best? Where would you place these S tier ones?
So Ultima at the front.
This Ultima.
Mm-hmm. Why does it do that to you?
I have no idea. Okay, next.
I like classic tone there. I think that works.
Okay.
Royal Radiance after that. That's the big shiny one with the brightness. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I think after that is fine. I think that's where I would put all that stuff for me. Schnick, what do you think? Is that where that stuff? Do you like how that's set up?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, I don't recognize a couple of those, but it's been a while since I played like the later games. Like it's like 1, 2, and Recom on the PS2 are like the ones I most recently tried.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. The thing of Recom, original Com, don't you have a funny story about original Chain Memories?
Yeah. What's up?
I thought you had Nick.
Do you want me to tell this? Let me guess. You want to hear the story about how I wasn't allowed to have the original Chain of Memories as a kid?
Yeah, I think that was
that one. Okay, so I never got to play the original Chain of Memories on GBA. The first time I got to play it was on the PS2 remake. And it wasn't for a lack of trying, because so it was like 2006 when I got to play the first two games. Like 2 was like brand new at the time, and like the first one had been around for a couple of years. Then a friend of mine that I had at school at the time was telling me about Chain of Memories on the GBA. So I asked for it for Christmas that year. I didn't get it. And then I kept going when we were visiting Disney in Florida. I kept going on and on about how they were probably going to have a copy of Chain of Memories on GBA, and I wanted to get it. And that was like the big present I wanted from the trip, because they told me I could pick a single game. And all throughout, my dad was bitching to me about why I wanted a Game Boy Advance game. Because keep in mind, by this point, it was the spring of 2007. Like, the Game Boy Advance was about to be discontinued. My sister had already gotten the original DS. I had a PSP. And my dad just couldn't fathom why I wanted a Game Boy Advance game. And finally, we get to, like this big toy store they had in like downtown Disney, and they had a video game section, and they had a crap ton of Chain of Memories copies, surprisingly. So I pulled one off the shelf. I gave it to my dad. I was like, this is the game I want. He was so dead set in his way. He's like, sorry, Game Boy games are worthless. He took it from me, put it back on the shelf, walked away.
Something that's ironic about that is,
Yeah,
could you play advanced games on the DS?
you could.
Yeah. It's also, it just feels like unnecessary to be that like mad about a Game Boy Advance game, Because it probably, well, how much were they even selling it for? Like $5, 10 maybe?
I don't remember the price. It couldn't have been more than like 20 at that point.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think you got. But I think you got later on when you got your GameCube.
Well,
edition.
like years later, I got a copy of it when I got my Game Boy player for the GameCube. Like, well, I didn't have a GameCube as a kid. Like, I had to get a GameCube because my sister was taking, because how I originally played GameCube was that it was on the original Wii, and then my sister took the original Wii with her to college, so I was left without a way to play GameCube games, so I had to go buy a GameCube, and they happened to have a Game Boy player with it. But yeah, like, my dad was very dead set on, like, oh, why are you interested in these older games? Get this in the new hot stuff. I mean, he was pretty against me doing the games. Like, he was one of those parents. But, like, he was always in. He was firmly with the out with the old, in with the new kind of thing when it came to technology. In fact, when I got my PlayStation 3, like, they had just added Final Fantasy VIII to, like, the PlayStation Network for download. And I spent some of my Christmas money to get it.
Sorry.
Oh. But yeah, I spent some of my Christmas money to get Final Fantasy VIII, and he was asking, why do you want that old game? You just got the PlayStation 3. Why not get a PlayStation 3 game? It's like, because Final Fantasy VIII is a game I want. But at that point, he wasn't challenging me because I was spending my own money. Like, he would question me, but he's like, it's your money. Do what you want with it.
Yeah, I don't, you know, I'm going to say this now. I don't really get your dad because, like, what's the reason why old games bad? You know?
I think it's all because he thinks, oh, the graphics aren't as fancy or something, or like it's not as advanced. Because even today, I don't talk games with him that much because he's just not interested. But like when I got my PlayStation 5, like he seems to be more interested in how they look. Because when he saw me playing a PlayStation 5 game, like he looked at it only to know, wow, that looks so much like a movie.
Yep. I think I told the story before, but I'll tell it again because it's relevant. I won a PS4 by Taco Bell, the gold version, from being I was one of those box winners. You buy a $5 box in our contest, win a gold PS4, and I won it that way. So awesome! This was pre Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm like, and I wanted to play Kingdom Hearts, the new Kingdom Hearts 2. And at the time, everyone was saying that they weren't going to do 1.5 and 2.5 for the PS4, as everyone was saying. So, like, if I want to play these games, I gotta get the PS3. So I got the PS3, and
then they release it.
Yeah, I got 1.5, 2.5, and then a month later, a year later, I forget how long it was, they put the 1.5, 2.5 on PS4.
Tough.
Well, at the very least, the PS4 version had a bit of a rocky launch because that's when they made it 60 FPS, and like you can tell the games were not made with that originally in mind. Like there was like the infamous gameplay clip of somebody doing the Sephiroth fight in KH1, and like the meteor attackers in the meteor attack move way faster than they're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was also like the Vexen fight in KH2 where like his like data scanning, like the meter for it moved way faster than was supposed to. Like they patched it and now they behave like they're supposed to, but like that was how it was at launch.
They did not prepare for the doubling up of the frames, which is so funny.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's a big trend on the internet for people to crap on remasters, like nitpicking every single fine detail to like note how like the originals are like God's gift to mankind and that any remaster is like an inferior way to play. But I would not say that for like. I mean, there's definitely some remasters out there that are truly like inferior because they have very blatant problems. But like, I would say like the KH games are for the most part not one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
and you guys know this. I know Stick knows the story, but you know the story about the remastered Kingdom Hearts had to rebuild it from scratch or something.
yeah, that is the like one thing like one of the bad examples of a remaster that really is a bad example would be Silent Hill HD. And the reason why that collection turned out as bad as it was because Konami had lost the finished source code for Silent Hill 2 and 3. And basically what had happened was they contracted a developer who had like no experience, and all they were able to provide for them were source codes for like beta releases of the games. And they gave them a tight deadline because 2012 was like basically Konami wanted to be like the year of Silent Hill. Like they were going to have so many games released, they were having a new movie, and like they gave this inexperienced developer such a tight deadline, and really they did the best they could with what they had. But you get all these uninformed people all over the internet going, "Oh, this is inexcusable. These lazy hacks. Oh, wait, they had the original PS2 disc. All the files are there. Why can't they just pull all the files off the disc?" And then it's like, that's not how porting a game works. Like, and KH1 Final Mix's HD port is the testament to that, because the sad reality is around that time, like throughout the 90s, even all the way up to the early 2000s, game developers were not good with preservation of their. They would misplace stuff all the time.
So
And for KH1, they lost the source code for the Final Mix version.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, because they couldn't just leave the game out of like a re-release, they had to rebuild the entire game from scratch.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to mention that they had to rebuild Final Mix, and they even ended up like, if you play them side by side, the models are just slightly different. They're so close, but they're just a little bit different, and it's very noticeable when you're having them side by side.
Like Final Fantasy X, I think, was a similar case. Like, it's funny because you have Titus's model from the original Final Fantasy X, but then in the HD version, you can tell that they completely redid it to more match how he appeared in like the Dissidia games on PSP.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so KH1, I don't know how they rebuilt it. I feel like they reused a lot of assets from like Recom because it had like lots of the assets they needed were in that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, ultimately the rebuilding of the game worked out for the better because they were able to redo like a lot of the old dated mechanics and like kind of modernize them. So
yeah.
So
sure.
So Nick, we told our stories. Do you have any stories about bad experience about buying Kingdom Hearts game that you had to buy in the past that those trouble?
I actually do have one quick story that I don't think I've ever told on this. My first ever copy of KH2 on the PS2, I saved up money for it because keep in mind, this was like when I was in 5th grade. I didn't have a job or anything. I bought a used copy just so I could get it for cheap. Keep in mind, the game was still brand new at the time. A used copy set me back $45, which was the most I had paid for a game at that time. And I get home, the game didn't work.
Oh no.
Like, it would play the opening FMV, you would get, like, the cutscene of Roxas waking up in his bedroom, and then you get, like, the first day splash screen, or actually, no, you would get, like, the Twilight Town splash screen. It's supposed to go to the cutscene of, like, Roxas and friends in the usual spot. It just stayed on a black screen.
Oof.
So, like, 1 week later, we had to go back and exchange discs, but go on.
So Nick, do you have any stories about Kingdom Hearts buying buying Kingdom Hearts games that turned out badly?
No, I don't think I have any that turned out badly, honestly. Um,
So no, so no buying a game for no reason, or no out of date games your parents made you put back.
no, not that I can remember, because my parent, like, I had an allowance for like doing chores and stuff, so my parents didn't care how I spent my money. And then like as far as like playing, like buying the games as they came out, like I played them as like so I played them when they were like new, so like 2002, 2004, 2005, 6, 7. I think the only one that I bought later that was kind of a bamboozle on my own part was around 2012, 2011. I bought Rechain of Memories for the PlayStation 2, and then the 1.5 came out. So I was like, oh, I don't fucking need this. They have it, and I got rid of it. But that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, since I had a Game Boy, I didn't have a Game Boy. I did have a Game Boy Advance, but since I didn't even know about original chain, I went right from 1 to 2, and then the story made no sense to me then, since like, where's Sora at? Why is he doing this egg thing?
mhm.
What's happening here?
Yeah. Yeah, I played the original GBA Chain of Memories, and I got to Roxas, and I was like, "Who is this guy? Who is this asshole? Where's Sora?" I knew what was going on and was still confused.
But I think one time Snick mentioned that in the original Game Boy Advance game they had Axel cuss or something.
He says,
Yeah,
"Stan."
like I think he's like right before the second fight with him, he asked Sora to quote unquote give me a hell of a show, and I think he also says "damn" at one point.
I think so.
But yeah, I mean, the only other time that there's language in the games is in Birth by Sleep. Right before the fight with Maleficent, she calls upon quote unquote the fires of hell.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing a binge watch of all the mainline Disney animated movies, like from like last summer, and I wrapped it up like about a month ago. When I finally got to Sleeping Beauty, because I did it like randomized, like not in order of release, and like when the wheel finally landed on Sleeping Beauty, I was stunned to find out that Fires of Hell line, they pulled it straight from the movie. In fact, quite a few of Maleficent's lines of dialogue in the KH games are pulled from that movie.
Yep.
So,
And I think we all know about the censorship in Kingdom Hearts 2, especially in the pirate world.
yeah.
What was the censorship there?
So one thing they censored was when Will Turner reveals himself, like he threatens suicide basically as negotiation with Barbossa, and he actually points a pistol to his head.
Yeah,
That was taken out of the American version.
Which is weird because it's just from the movie. It's not.
Yeah, that's what happens in the movie, but I guess that was a little too extreme for the E10 rated game.
I guess so.
Then I think they linger on the bloody medallion a little bit more. And then what's funny is in the Japanese version, when Barbossa's talking to Elizabeth, he notes how his pirates lust for women. But then in the American version, they change it to they lust for quote unquote pleasurable company. And to their credit, I get the feeling, to their credit, the pleasurable company line is what they say in the movie. So I have to think that when they did the Japanese script, they just kind of simplified it just because like language differences. But then the other big thing they censored was the Zigbar fight, where he has like a sniper scope and everything. But then, oddly enough, the HD version actually, I think, restored that.
Yeah, what did they do instead of the sniper? Would they just have like
they had like 3 dots?
3 dots. Weird.
Yeah, like a 3-dot like sort of crosshair thing.
And I think they replaced either the Pirate World or Zigbar thing. They guns instead of they had crossbows instead of guns, I think.
Oh yeah, in Pirates they had muskets instead of in the Japanese version, but then they changed them to crossbows, which is funny because they still have exploding shots like they're muskets.
Yeah. Did they ever change them back to muskets in 2.5?
No, I think they kept them as crossbows in the HD version.
Wild.
I guess muskets are too extreme, or even though Barbossa and Jack get to keep their pistols.
Right.
So, I think also another thing they censor is that when Barbossa's fighting Jack, like in the cutscene before the fight, when Barbossa stabs Jack, in the Japanese version, you still see the sword sticking out of him, but they take it out in the American version.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I got to see all these uncensored things because, again, I was playing the original PS2 Final Mix on my emulator, and obviously, like the fan translated version, and obviously they kept all the uncensored stuff in there.
Right.
Before we go, one thing, what's the report and stuff? Well, in your opinion, what's the difference between a port game, and a remastered game?
I feel like a port is so I don't know how ports work. I don't know how they do that. So this is just sort of a unknowledgeable opinion, but I'm pretty sure a port is like they take the game and they just put it on a new system. Whereas an HD port, they're like updating stuff. They're making it look better, smoothing out some edges, that kind of stuff.
Because I heard there's a difference between that, so from Chains to Rechains is a remasters, or
that's a remake.
That's the third one. That's the third thing, a remake. That's the third different one. So
because they use the same general system, but like the graphics are totally different. The gameplay is different, that sort of thing. So like I would say an HD remake is like that might even be, I was gonna say remaster versus a port. So God, I don't remember. Never mind. Let me just that one. But so I have Sonic Adventure 1 on my PlayStation 3, right? That's just a port. They just took the assets, put on the PS3, boom, here's your game. But if they decided, hey, let's make it look good on modern hardware, that'd be an HD port or a remake, you could argue. Or not remake, remaster, you could argue. Like they did with Sly Cooper. Sly Cooper, they put on the PlayStation 3, smoothed out all the edges, it's a remaster. But then they took... I'm trying to think of a good example of a remake that I have.
Would that be like Wind Waker from GameCube to Switch or
Wii U?
Yeah, I would say that's a remaster. I don't know if they called it a remake, but I would say that's a remaster.
They call it a remaster. Like it was just simply Wind Waker HD.
Yeah, I think that's just a remaster. But yeah, and then a remake. I'm trying to think of a good example. I think Chain of Memories is the best example, where they took the GBA game and they just made it a totally new game with the same mechanics. Is a best way to explain to describe a remake.
This was a better, you think, that to the GameCube, the advantage to PS2, or a cell phone to the DS with Coded?
What do you mean?
The original Coded was a cell phone game.
Right.
Was that?
But I'm like, can you repeat the sentence? I'm confused what you're asking.
Which was harder to do, you think? Taking a Game Boy Advance to a PS2 game like Chain of Memories, or Coded when they went from a phone to the DS?
I would assume GBA to PlayStation 2 because you're basically making a whole new game with just some similar mechanics. You might, I don't know how the phones were at the time, 2010, I think. You might have been able to move some of the assets over to Nintendo DS. So
I was hearing that the original version of Coded was sort of advanced because Japanese phones are like graphically more capable than like American phones at the time. But I've never seen like the original coded in action. So.
See, I think the other ports were PSP to 3 because of Birth by Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I think one thing that changed there was you couldn't do the multi battles anymore, or something.
Multiplayer.
Yeah. But
Sleep in 358 lost their multiplayer when they went to PlayStation.
Yeah, I don't think there's is there much graphic update between the PSP and a PS3.
There was it's definitely HD. It's an HD version. They really smoothed out a lot of the rough stuff.
And what about from a 3DS to a PS3 for
sure.
PS4? Was that PS or was for 3D was PS4?
Yeah, 3DS to a PlayStation 4. Yeah, I would say for sure, because at least the regular Nintendo DS, at least those earlier games, they were basically pixel games. They're rough to look at. And Dream Drop, I don't think is much different. So in that HD version is clean, beautiful. I think they definitely did a lot of they might even be categorized as a remake depending on how much they had to change.
And the only ones that never got ports to again were 3DS and recoded.
Can you say that again?
The only ones that never got ports was recoded and 3DS.
Yeah.
Or remakes or remasters or whatever.
358 and recoded.
Oh, what'd I say?
You said 3DS, but I knew what you meant because they both start with the 3.
Yeah, and I don't think that, and for at least for coded, I don't think. It's bad. I don't think they missed a lot of story in recoded when they just the HD cutscenes, but I do believe they missed a lot of cutscenes and storylines that they didn't port over in 3DS. Not 300 days.
Yep. I think for both of those games, honestly, a cutscene compilation is just not the way to go because both of those games, the gameplay is arguably the best part or the most important part, right? Like you can watch a cutscene compilation of Roxas doing missions, but if you're not doing the missions, like why? They don't add anything. And
the big reason they didn't make them actual games is because they were other examples of games that would have had to be rebuilt from the ground up. And at least in the 1.5 collection's case, they were already using so much time and resources to rebuild the first game that they felt Days wasn't as important.
Right. Which makes sense.
But like I said, a day, I think, and recoded, I think they got most of the cutscenes ported over fine, but in Days, there's a lot of stuff that happens in the mission room that, or some stuff that don't cut and see the cutscenes that, and text things that are a good story that you miss by not.
Yeah, the Days movie, they for the most part took just the cutscenes from the original game and like they remastered them. And unfortunately, there's lots of like in mission events that they leave to like text boxes. And this also has the side effect of that there's pretty much no battle scenes because since they were all boss fights, they didn't want to animate those. And really, the only one they fixed is that in the PS4 version, they added as free DLC, they actually went and did an original animation of like the final Roxas and Xion fight. Like because originally it just has Xion talking to Roxas, like urging him to fight her. It cuts to black, and then it cuts back to her already defeated.
Yeah, it was definitely smart of them to make a extra cutscene to bridge that gap. But yeah, you're right, Vandalia. A lot of the nuance of the story is lost in the cutscene collection for 358.
And, I mean, coded, they actually fixed it up, and they actually made a lot of original material for it. So,
But the best part of Coded is the gameplay. So it's like, why do we? I don't need this cutscene compilation to know how the bottle
Yeah.
got to the end of 2. It's ridiculous.
I think I asked this. I think I asked this in your live stream. But what's you like better, the uh, the the panels of days or the circuit board of Coded?
I think the circuit board, the matrix system is really is my favorite between the two because it's simpler. It's like pretty straightforward, and you get to unlock nodes and stuff, and you're like, it's like there's a little bit of mystery to it. It's like, ooh, I get to go, boom, oh, that's so cool, boom, wow, neat. But the panels is like very strategic and Tetrisy, which is fine if you have the, if you want to go through that. But if you're just trying to get through the game, it's like, this is, I don't want to fucking have to do this every time I want to change magic,
So do you have a hard time making the fitting all the blocks together in a perfect form, or are there any gaps you have?
No, not really. It's usually you end up with either a lot of space because like there's some abilities that I just skip entirely. Sliding dash, kind of useless. There's another like falling one, kind of useless. There's an extender on your limit, useless. There's a far lock on, useless. So I usually end up having a little extra space. And magic takes up like a whole page. So if I'm just not using a ton of magic, I basically just have a ton of free space.
And I heard
by the end.
Yeah, I heard that your backpack is very limited space when you first get it.
Yeah, backpack is rough initially, but you get nodes to fill it out very quickly.
So Snick, I remember you live streamed Days for a bit a few years ago, didn't you?
Maybe.
I think you did. I think it was after we did the 2 marathon. You did some live streams with Days, but I forget if you beat it or not. You ever play? You ever play Recoded?
On the original DS, yeah.
What was easier for you if you remember playing either Coded or
I remembered
Days?
liking Coded's level up system. Like I thought it was creative enough. And then the panels in Days I thought were fine enough too.
They have their good aspects to them. That like like there's some strategy to the panels and there's like some intrigue to the matrix system. I don't know if I prefer them over just like the standard way they do it in 1, 2, and 3, but they're not like bad.
So, all right. So, when you get in your next Coded on Tuesdays, you don't have to be at 15 anymore, right? You can level up normally.
Yeah, so at this most recent one, I did beat the level 15 one. So I leveled up to, I had enough level chips to hit 37, like almost way over double where I was at, and can just start playing the game again.
What you Nick? What was your hardest? I think you might have mentioned it earlier, but what was your hardest Kingdom Hearts challenge that trophy you had to get? Either fake challenge or real challenge.
I can't remember. Like, I guess just Cage 2, just trying to avoid going over that level cap. I remember there was a challenge. There was like a fan-made challenge for Birth by Sleep where you had to escort Cinderella without using like these certain abilities, and you couldn't let her take damage. And that got me pretty mad, but I finally did it.
Escort quests in that game are just ass. They're so bad. I like a lot of that game, but escorting Cinderella and escorting Jacques, same world, 2 different characters. Terrible. Hate it.
The only Ironic trophy I ever got was the 15-hour challenge in Kingdom Hearts 1. And I got it by going to 102 hours.
Yeah, because there's a glitch in the game where, well, it's not really a glitch, it's just they didn't account for it. So the clock It goes over, like, basically you have to beat the game in under 15 hours. But if you let the clock only counts up to like 99 hours, 59 minutes. And once it passes that, it resets all the way to 0. And the only thing that happens is that the clock text turns green to indicate that it's past 100 hours. But the trophy doesn't account for that. So as long as you don't let it go over 15 hours again, you can get the trophy.
That's how I got it.
Yeah.
Ironically. All right, so Nick, tell us the audience about your you have 4 series or 4 series you're doing on your channel, or is it 3?
Currently it's 3. Well, I guess there's more. There's some undefined ones. I'll just go over basically just a quick thing. There's Item Hunt, where I collect all the items in a game. Usually takes multiple videos, but it's like a funnier type of video. And then there's lately I've been doing level guides for Kingdom Hearts. Those have been fun. People seem to like those. There's the Did You Know Kingdom Hearts, which are shorts that come out on Tuesdays as well. And then there's I think it's mostly just those 3 right now. I do long form walkthroughs, but I haven't done that in a really long time. So that is on my list to do next.
Plus, and then your 2 live streams then.
And then yes, the two live streams right now are 100%ing 358 over 2 days and Recoded,
which is on Friday night and Tuesday afternoons.
Yes, so yeah, the 358 is Friday night at 10 p.m. EDT, and then Tuesday is Recoded at 3 p.m. EDT.
All right, Snick, anything coming up on your channel you want to advertise that you're doing?
Well, I appeared in a video review that a friend of mine did of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That game is the quintessential example of why live service games are garbage. I don't know if I'm going to be live streaming that game again, because I was doing live streams just to kind of share my experience trying to get the gameplay footage with him. And they are doing a new update for the game that introduces the Joker as a playable character, except the trailer has revealed they are literally just recycling assets to make the quote-unquote make new content. So because of that, I don't know if we're going to play it or not, but because he's already released the video. Other than that, I mean, I might upload videos of me playing a modded version of Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Basically, I swapped out all the Marvel characters for characters who are not Marvel. Sora's one of them, and there's also Cloud and Titus from Final Fantasy 7 and 10.
Nice.
Before we go, you're fast. I hear an echo.
I did too.
Anyways, for me, the first Saturday of every month, me and my guests are going to talk about dinosaurs. The third Saturday every month, we're talking about the beginning of the universe, and the last Thursday of every month, we're talking about the Roman Empire. That's my 3 big things coming up on my channel every month. Also, after this, later on this quarter, whatever, you should ask Snick to send you his bullshit game.
This bullshit game.
What it was called.
I don't know about that.
Game he made a game on RPG Maker and all the characters. It's hilarious. But anyways, check all these shit. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to Snick and subscribe to Nick. Hopefully you've already done that. Check out Nick on Saturday. Check out Nick on Tuesdays. And until then, never stop learning and enjoy the randomness. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.